This was one of those months where I had all of these ideas of what was going to happen, and then things just went in a completely different direction. Hi everybody, it is time for me to talk about my goals. I'll be going over how my October goals went and go through my November situation. I used the Cultivate What Matters Powersheets, at least for this year. I don't know if I'm going to use them next year or not, but I have been using them for the last few years to do all of my goal setting. Now, I talked last month and in my last quarterly goal setting video about how I moved all of my work goals completely out of my Powersheets and into a new system with this Kanban board behind me and everything else. I'll link that video up above if you haven't seen that one yet. So everything that's going to be in this planner is, for the most part, personal related. I've been in the last few months really struggling with a lot of burnout, with a lot of overwhelm, moving over multiple states and uprooting my life and drastically changed custody schedule, and everything else has really worn on me, and I am very exhausted. But it's just going to keep continuing. For a lot of us, the months of November and December tend to be very busy with holidays and hopefully family. Like, this is going to be more family than we've had since the pandemic started, but we're still going to space them out so that we don't have too many people with us at once, but like, that's still going to happen. On top of that, my work life is going to be going a little bit cuckoo bananas because, again, it's the holiday season. I will tell you one thing, personal life-wise, that did happen this past month. It's not reflected in my Powersheets, but it did help overall with not only how I go and accomplish all of my goals, but just how our life runs in general. And I wanted to tell you about it because I think it's important it's something that I think more people can stand to do. So I hit burnout really hard, and there was a point this past month where things were so overwhelming for me between work and my health stuff and one of my kids' health stuff and school things for my kids and just so many things going on that I hit a wall hard. One of the things that happened as a result of this was I got into it with Jess, my husband. We both really argued with each other. We don't argue very often, and so when we do, it's very unsettling for me, but it was like high tension level hit that wasn't even his fault. It was just, I just couldn't do it anymore. But the result of that was that we argued, but then we talked it through and came to a place where the distribution of certain labors in the house when it comes to taxiing and handling both the physical and the mental load of some of the things going on with the kids right now, all of those things, we were able to disperse that a little bit better, and it both helped alleviate some of the pressure on me. It helped him feel like he was more hands-on with stuff going on around the house, because it's real easy for him to get sucked into work and to not do that because I don't ask for help. And so sometimes it takes getting into a fight to ask for help, but I did, and things are great now. Well, I mean, still burned out, but like, we've made some progress, and I appreciate that. So I want to tell you guys about that, because as much as I don't want to spill my dirty laundry all over the internet, at the same time, like, I suck at asking for help, and it took getting into a fight for me to ask for help in not a very constructive way, but it turned constructive after the fact. So I'm proud of that. I do want to mention that one of the things that I have been doing this month, now that it's my personal goals instead of my work goals as well, is that I check in with my Powersheets once a week when I do my weekly planning. And I've actually found that to be more helpful than doing it every single day, partly because I could just schedule out the things I want to get done for my goals during the week. So that's been interesting. Now, when I film this video, the month is not done yet, so I'm going to have to extrapolate on some of these things, but as you're going to see, some of them just aren't going to get done at all, and there's a reason for that. So my priority for the month, looking at my monthly action items, you'll notice here there's a couple of things that are completely crossed out that we're not doing with scheduling the permit test. We did pick the driving school, we paid for it. Unfortunately, we were not able to schedule the kids for driving school in October. It's a bunch of Saturday full-day lessons, and in October this month, the kids went to Napa to see their dad, and they were traveling on one of the Saturdays, and so it wasn't going to work out even though it was online. So we had to wait for November, and the November school is going to take them 3 weekends in November and then 2 more in December. So notice both the schedule, the permit test, we can do that through this school. We're doing it through what we're doing here, but we won't be able to do that until January. And then on top of that, the online driving school is crossed out as well from the weekly because they're not going to start it till next month. So we did pick the school, but the rest of it's going to have to wait. The gallery wall, As of right now, it has not been hung, but I ordered. The biggest problem I was running into, like the prints are all done. We're good to go to make the gallery wall, but the frames I wanted, I can't find in store like I did when I did the first gallery wall. So I had to order them, and they should be here later this week. So hopefully I'll get Jesse to get it up within the next week or so, so it'll be done before November. And I'm sure you'll see pictures of it on Instagram, assuming I get it up, because I'll be really proud of it, assuming I get it up. The front room cabinet is done. So hell yeah. Beginner cycle program, I decided to quit that. And it wasn't because I wasn't enjoying it. The way the program is built is that you do a certain number of cycle programs, but then they also want you to incorporate strength programs, which is fine with me. However, a lot of the programs they were incorporating were core programs, and I can't do a lot of those because of the size of my kidneys. Like those sorts of exercises are like exactly what I shouldn't be doing, which would be fine, except if you miss classes in the program, even if you decide not to take them for whatever reason, it shows that you missed classes. And I was hating that. So it made more sense to me, now that I've gotten comfortable on the bike, to just figure out what classes I want to take. And what I have learned is that I really enjoy finding my classes based on length, and then music, and then instructor, or some version of those things. And so that's what I've been doing instead, going through, picking classes, and then just taking them as how I'm feeling. Now this last week I haven't been on the Peloton at all because my period has been kicking my ass. And like I really have not wanted to have that seat go anywhere near my traumatized vagine, but like it's been working okay. I've found some fun. And I've discovered the genre of yacht rock, which I didn't know was a thing, but most of the songs in it I love, so apparently it's my genre. As for the attorney and the advanced directives, we've managed to figure out most of that. We just have to do it. So that's, and I think Jess and I are going to have a conversation about it. I don't know if we're going to use an attorney for our will because it should be pretty simple, at least in the beginning. We might just do one of those like do-it-yourself things, and that's what we have to figure out. As for the advanced directive stuff, I figured out the stuff we need. We just have to actually fill it out. So we're doing pretty good on that. Going to my weekly actions, like I already talked about the driving school, the chores thing. It's been a really rough month for medical appointments and things like that. It's just been very difficult to figure out any sort of rhythm with that, so that'll come later. The next three, organizing the kitchen, doing the HB90 review, and having a date night with Jess, all of those have been rolling right along, mainly because I've scheduled all of them. The kitchen organizing's happened on Saturdays, the date nights have happened on different days depending on how things are going, and the HB90 thing has been working out, and that's the one thing that's sort of work related. It's like a review of the week. And that's the same time when I take out my Powersheets and update them. So it's been working okay. It's a very rhythmic situation that's been working out. So I like that. As for my daily action items, I already talked about how I haven't been on the cycle very much. And when I say my period's been kicking my ass, I've had like a 2-week-long period. Let's just say. I don't know if this is perimenopause or what, but like what the fuck. I have been doing yoga and meditation on the nights I'm not doing the cycling, and I've been appreciating that. I can't do any meditation longer than 5 minutes, but the 5 minutes has been nice, especially in the evening. I often like listen to them while I'm like letting the hot water run over me in the shower, and I do the breathing while I'm in the shower, and that's been very helpful for getting me to sleep. I've also been adhering to my working hours. To be honest, I've actually been working less than my required working hours, which has been a little hard, but like I said, I've been feeling really under the weather, so I watched a really interesting video recently, and I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about how most productivity gurus are dudes, and they talk about like a weekly cycle when if you are a person who menstruates, it might be better to plan your month out based on your monthly cycle because your body has different energy levels based on where you are in the menstrual cycle. And that was very interesting to me, especially this week as this last month, as my 2-week-long period has basically kicked my ass. And then the kids have been doing fairly good without being reminded about the shower. They've been doing pretty good. They both have figured out times they like showering, and that I think is probably the biggest key to the puzzle, because now that like RJ likes to shower before school, he knows he has to get up early enough to get in the shower before school. And Kat likes to shower before bed because it helps them sleep. And they usually get in after I take my evening shower. So it actually has been going pretty well. Anyway, so that was my goals for October. They're rolling along. The ones I had to cross out, like, there was nothing really I could do about most of those things, but I don't really mind. I think the only one where I really took like a nosedive on was the chores thing. And honestly, I had other priorities this month. Like, I prioritized that when I set my goals, and then things shifted, and that fucking happens. So now let's lay another plan out, this time for November, and we'll see how quickly it shifts when we get to the next month's goal setting. So as usual, we're going to start with the Prepare Well page. It's going to be a busy month. Like lots going on. Work-wise and house-wise. Home-wise. Lots of guests, so I better get this figured out. So important to-dos for the month. Get the house ready for my sisters, then reset it because shortly thereafter Jesse's mom and his uncle are coming. Appointments with my kids' teachers, mainly because when you miss a lot of school because of doctor's appointments and pain, it's just important to keep everybody in the loop to keep things on track. I have my big transplant appointment with the new transplant center and a lot of testing to be done. Kat has a couple of important doctor's appointments at the beginning of November, and we need to get their plane tickets for them to go to see their dad in December for Christmas break. I am excited for my family visiting, obviously. On my mind is all the stuff going on with my kid as well as my big transplant appointment. They're going to be transferring over all of my stuff from the San Francisco Transplant Center, but they also need me to go through all the testing for them. And so it's just a lot. I'm hopeful that we have a rad as fuck time when family's in town, which is going to be the majority of November. I just skipped over the monthly because I'm not using it. Let's go over to the quarterly goals. And I don't think I ever moved all my little Post-its over. My little things, my situations. Here we go. First one is empowering my kids to become adults with a strong sense of self. Teach the kids to drive is the mini goals. So we did pick the driving school, and all of these things are sort of on the calendar. The school that we picked and we paid for has the permit tests, the lessons, both the driving lessons and the actual like text-based school. That starts in November. So definitely a weekly goal will be for the kids to do their online driving school, which is on Saturdays. Can't schedule the permit tests until they're done, and that won't be until December. So some of this may not actually happen in the quarter because of the school not being able to get started until the beginning of November, but we're still going to be able to make progress on it. My second goal for the quarter is to focus on independence, and we worked on showers without reminding. We're kind of there, kind of not. And the chores thing still has not been the business, but the big thing I really want to work on for November is breakfast, because I think helping both kids kind of pull their shit together in the mornings will be helpful. So breakfast and laundry. And I think I'm going to cross showers out because we're pretty much there. We have a really good rhythm. Kat likes to shower at night before bed for the same reason I do. It helps him fall asleep. And RJ likes to shower in the morning because he likes most people. I also like to shower in the morning. So anyway, so I think we'll work on laundry and breakfast. Laundry will be a weekly task and breakfast will be a daily task, I'm pretty sure. For the house goal, decorate and organize the main levels. So the gallery wall is not done as of the filming of this video, like I said, but if it should be done by the end of the month. Finish organizing the kitchen should be done. The wine cabinet is done. I want to get the Christmas tree up this month. And we're going to turn hall closet into hall closets because one of them is not on the main level, but they're both going to be utilized for our guests. When I set this goal originally, I meant for the main level. I thought we would have some family here, but I figured we'd be okay. But now that we're having family here so much, the guest room, the mud room, the guest bathroom, those are all on the lower level, and I want to get those things taken care of as well. So getting both closets ready to go before family gets here so that we can utilize those will be very, very helpful. And I'm going to add two things to this. Guest room and basement. Ready, the guest ready. Not the main level, but it is still part of the house, and that's very important, especially in the front of the month, because the guest room will be for one set of sister and husband, the basement will be for my other sister, and then I have to redo the guest room for when my mother-in-law gets here. So all of these things are going to go on the list, and all of them, I think, are going to probably go on the monthly list because they are just single tasks. As for my health and wellness goal, making movement a daily practice. So I did not finish the Peloton cycling program, like I said in the first part of this video, but I did figure out how I want to handle cycling and yoga. So I think what I am going to do for this making movement goal is to put on my weekly actions to cycle at least 3 times weekly, because that's what I really would like to be doing. And then on my daily to do something from the Peloton app each day, whether it's meditation, yoga, cardio, whatever. And I'm just going to continue that. I don't want to add too much extra in because of having so many house guests this month. Into my mental health goals, setting and following through on boundaries, the working hours thing, and the no work on Saturdays have been working really well. I'm going to continue to keep the HB90 system on my weekly planning. I want to just continue these things. So I basically just continued. The only thing I didn't really put on here was date nights because with so much family in town, I don't think that's really a reasonable expectation. And then end of life planning. We had not wrapped up the things for this month in October by the time I film this, but I have high hopes that they will be wrapped up. So actually getting the will written in November, I'm actually hoping Jesse's mom might be able to help us with some of that because she's been through all of that. And look into green burial, or the research green burial are going to be my two things for funeral arrangements. Okay, so we've got these all here. And I'm actually pretty glad there's not a lot of daily items just because, again, there's going to be family in town. That's just, it's going to be a lot. So for my encouraging words for this month, I decided to go with a Will Ferrell quote. Before you marry a person, you should first make them use a computer with slow internet service to see who they really are. I just thought that that would be fun. The reason I wanted to use this particular quote was because so much of my month is going to be wrapped up in patience, and that's going to be my priority for the month as well. Because I am generally somebody who loves to see family, loves to have family visit, loves entertaining people, but also gets very stressed out when I have house guests. And I'm going to have house guests for a majority of the month. And we are going to really see if having a separate guest room that's kind of away from the rest of the house, that doesn't make us disrupt the rest of our routines, I'm going to see if that helps with my patience. But it's going to be something that I really need to focus on this month. I decided to be very simple with how I decorated this month. I used some of the new tending tape that I got when I got the new Powersheets. You can check that one out, that video out. I'll link it up above. But I used that just because it's like gold and shiny. And then I used the gold stickers to accessorize. So for my priority for the month, it's getting the guest room in the basement guest ready. Not only is that a priority, it needs to happen early because my sisters arrive right around Veterans Day. And then my little must do here, my little situation to mark this one, oh hi Mark, will be like pay off in the long run is making sure we all have breakfast together in the mornings. And then I used a one thing at a time sticker just again to reinforce the whole patience thing. So this is my power sheets for the month of November. I am excited and a little nervous about having so many family members here and getting the house ready for them while at the same time releasing my new fuckery flowers and my calendars, but it's going to happen one way or the other. I guess we'll see, right? Is that washi tape in the middle hella crooked? Yes, it is. Oh, my goodness. There we go. Anyway, yeah. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments. One thing you're looking forward to in the month of November. Obviously I'm looking forward to seeing my sisters and my mother-in-law and my husband's uncle, and it's still crooked. Oh my God, whatever. I'm just going to leave it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Patience, right? That's what I'm looking forward to this month. I'd love to hear what you are looking forward to as well. So let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, friends, peace out.